Well, ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday, and we are going to be playing a little bit of Black Ops 2 today, and we're going back to the Scar H because a lot of y'all said that this gun, y'all used it more than I thought. Dude, there was nobody in my lobbies that used the Scar back in the day. Everybody was using the freaking AN94 and the M8. Maybe I was in sweatier lobbies than you guys. I don't know. I mean, apparently there's skill-based matchmaking in every Call of Duty. That's what they told us, you know? But I wanted to do a little domination and yap about Call of Duty today because, spoiler alert, that's what the channel is. But a quick side note, which I think is really funny, I have to tell you this. I went to a vintage gaming store yesterday that's nearby, and we went and bought some games for T-Dawg 2. Now, I'm not going to spoil what these games are because I think I want you to see the video when it comes out, but it's very different than what you're normally used to. So make sure you subscribe to that channel if you're interested in that kind of thing. If you're not, don't worry about it. I won't be offended. But yeah, so I was scrolling on Twitter today, and I really didn't have a video planned today. I was going to probably chill. We're going to go out and see a movie and go to dinner. But I feel like I had to make a video on this. I was scrolling on Twitter, and Charlie Intel, most of you guys, if you guys are into the COD scene on social media, you are more than likely following Charlie Intel. But he tweeted something, and yes, the game that we all hate, Black Ops 7. It's the, you know, it's the same as Black Ops 6. It's with a rug pulled skill-based matchmaking. The content is boring, blah, 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 blah. And then I go on Twitter, and it's the #1 selling game in January. So this is what we're going to have a little discussion, ladies and gentlemen, because my initial reaction is, why in the world should Call of Duty change? That's kind of what I'm getting at here. So I have a few notes written down over here because I feel like I have so much to talk about with this subject because they always seem to, they're always #1 when you really think about it. And so the first thing that popped into my head was Battlefield, because Battlefield was really supposed to be the game this year. I was so excited for it. And they had, you know, former Call of Duty developers running the game, and it was promising because they were really going back to what made them Battlefield. It was that boots on the ground feel that we all kind of been looking for in a game, and they absolutely crushed it, knocked it out of the park. The release was perfect. They did everything right. I believe they outsold Call of Duty. I don't know if the numbers are like official, but they outsold Call of Duty for probably the first time ever, I would assume. And it looked like it was going to be the year of Battlefield. And then they went completely silent. And now, just until recently, there was really no updates. You know, season 2 was scheduled, then it got delayed, and we really didn't hear much. And now the game yesterday came out, Battlefield came out, the update that is, and it was kind of lackluster, if I can say so myself. You had maps that were not the typical Battlefield maps. Like, people wanted like bigger maps, and they wanted maybe more RedSec, I guess, stuff to happen, and it just didn't happen. And so to me, it looks like Battlefield is going to be one of those games that maybe it picks up after season 3 or 4, but right now it has completely botched the release. I mean, we had people saying that they were quitting Call of Duty for Battlefield. They were going to main this game. They couldn't wait to see what they were doing. And in my opinion, I know the word is kind of insane to say this, but they kind of pooed the bed. And so you have Call of Duty continually updating their seasons. Despite what you think of their season updates, they have been doing a lot. Even if I don't really like that method, and I think a lot of it's kind of rehashed and redone maps, and they've given plenty of people content. There's a bunch of new camos, there's game modes, there's new maps, there's maps that they're bringing back. And so it's like, it almost feels like Call of Duty is kind of doing a really good job after the fact instead of having a terrible launch. And so you just look around at the landscape, especially in the FPS market, and you're like, Call of Duty really has no competition. I mean, Halo's down bad as all get out. Battlefield had the start of a lifetime and they botched it. And so I go back to the same question. Why in the world would Call of Duty change? And this actually got brought up. Me and my buddy Cup of Joe were talking this morning, and it's kind of funny. It ties into today's vlog or whatever you call this thing, Cutcom. It feels like the games that I feel like are thriving, the Fortnites, the Rainbow Sixes, the CS:GOs, games like that where they really don't change the base of their game. Yes, there's updates, but it's more seasonal stuff. Like the base of their game does not change. Like Fortnite feels a little bit different, Rainbow Six feels a little bit different, but the majority of it is, it's kind of the same game it was 10 years ago. And my goal this week is actually to play Rainbow Six on the main channel. And somebody's like, wait for chapter 11 of Rainbow Six. I'm like, imagine if like MW19 would have gotten 11 years of support. What a weird and interesting dynamic that would have been. So you think that those games are like the best and everybody's playing them. At least that's what you think from social media. You know, Arc Raiders, it's like an extraction shooter. It's just like one mode pretty much. And you think that they're thriving. And then you look at Call of Duty, and I don't know if you noticed the rest of this list. It's Call of Duty, and I think it was either 2K in FIFA or Madden in FIFA. And what do you notice about those titles, guys? They come out every single year. They come out every single year, and every single year people complain that it's a roster update or it's not enough and there's a bunch of fatigue. And yet here we are playing the same games and consuming them and buying them. And let me just make it clear, guys, I'm talking to myself here in this as well, because I'm the ball and gun guy. Like, I like sports games and I like shooting games. So I'm like, this is 100% on me. And so my question is, how the heck do we get these people to change, these developers to change, when they don't really have to? People just keep buying the games. And now I know the obvious answer is like, don't buy the games. And I know that, I feel like that's just easier said than done. You know, how do you get people where it's become like their every year thing? Like, I'm just going to buy 2K every year, to stop buying it because like it's the game that they look forward to. And I don't know how you change it. I really don't know how you change it. Of course, in my head, I would love Call of Duty to go to a yearly model where, not a yearly model, but like a generic model where it's just one game and we're getting updates. Very similar to Call of Duty Mobile, but it's not Call of Duty Mobile. It's like, I don't know what engine you would pick. I don't know how it would go, but I don't think, I used to think Call of Duty had to do that, but I'm starting to feel like they don't. And now I know that the earnings probably are they're definitely got to be lower than they have been in the years past. And even they've come out and made a blog post about how they're never going to do back-to-back Black Ops games and their best years are ahead. So it's not like it wasn't affected this year, because I know a lot of people did not buy Call of Duty, or they got it on Game Pass for like 5 minutes and they went, yeah, this game's trash, I'm not playing it, and uninstall the game, delete Game Pass, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's definitely had an impact on the game. But do I see it being enough where they stop making a yearly release? Probably not. And so I've talked with you guys at length. I mean, yesterday's video was about Modern Warfare 4. I mean, I think Modern Warfare 4 will be one of the top selling Call of Duties, even with GTA, of the last couple years, because I just think Modern Warfare sells. Like, that name sells, even if it's 4. Now, am I cool to be wrong? And, you know, maybe Modern Warfare failing would be the one that actually made Call of Duty change, because that is their bread and butter. Like, I feel like every time Call of Duty goes down a dark hole, it's like, okay, just make another Modern Warfare game. And so maybe it just takes that happening. But I don't know. I don't know. We have GTA this year, and Arc Raiders is still thriving. We have Marathon coming out. It just is entering in a world where I think people are not playing these types of games as much anymore. And that's why I think Modern Warfare 4, or whatever it's titled, is gonna go all in. I think they're gonna go all in on DMZ. I really do. I think they're gonna bring back DMZ 2, and they're gonna make it seem like it's this brand new mode. And I think they're gonna really try to make it different than, or just make it better than the first DMZ. because I just never tried it. But I now know in an era of extraction shooters, it's probably smart that they do it. And so for the sake of Call of Duty, for the sake of growth, for the sake of bringing back people, I would be okay with that. Does that solve the solution of people keep consuming and buying this game even when people hate the product? It doesn't fix that problem. But I also, that's why I'm making the video, is how do you change this? How do you make it different? I don't know if you can. But yeah, that was my one little thing here. I've been really enjoying these cut comms. I feel like anything that's on my mind, I'm just gonna like just start talking about it and ask your guys' feedback, because it just, I think as a Call of Duty community, I like to hear what people say. And so yeah, let me know in the comments down below, guys. What do you guys think? Is Call of Duty just gonna always be king? Is it ever an opportunity where, or ever a chance that this franchise falls off? Like, I do think it will eventually if they keep going the route that they're going. I don't know. I really don't. Also, this hammer is fantastic. But I hope you're enjoying the cut comms. If you are, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Make sure you subscribe to Tdawg too, and or Tdawg Plays, and we'll see you next time with another subject.